Hey, welcome back to the channel, man. Make sure you subscribe. Breaking news, man. You gotta watch this whole video. They just got two dudes for the whole Gotti Prive restaurant thing, man. And usually Gotti's cousins, the people who was in there that actually got sent up and everything. Condolences to everything, man. We don't want this to happen to nobody. And so allegedly what's going on is the fact that it all was started inside. Just like I told y'all, it was inside the store that it started. They somehow, the two dudes was looking for Yo Gotti's cousins or something like that. And then they could have booked the whole table next to them or something, because you're not supposed to go into Prive restaurant without a reservation. They don't really do walk-ins like that unless they know you personally or something. And that's how it goes with high-end restaurants. It's like they always got the security, valet, or host or somebody at the front with the podium, and they have the menu posted outside on the window for a reason, in the little menu that's right there on the post. That way you don't have to come inside just to look and decide whether you want to eat, so they can prevent people from coming in that's not supposed to be there. But the two dudes found a way, whether they snuck in or they finessed the reservation and told them they were with that table or something. Usually that table right there that everything happened at is usually the table that Blac Youngsta would sit at, moneybaggyo would sit at that same table. So once they knew that somebody was sitting at that table, they know that that's table number one. That's table number one for the head guest of honor inside that building. And it makes sense because they part of the whole Gotti family and everything like that. You know, these are part of Yo Gotti's people. So usually Yo Gotti's cousins roll around with ESTG security and everything like that, because they the ones who's, you know, they staying around, like they close, so they making sure that the people around them, because Yo Gotti got his own security, but his cousins got a different type of security, and his artists, all that, and the artists and the people he signed, they all have to fend for themselves and get their own people. But this time, ESTG security guards wasn't there and the homies wasn't there. But whoever that was at the restaurant, they was, you know, trying to get their back and everything like that. You know, they were on a date and things. And so once the commotion started going on, the manager was trying to kick everybody out, because at this point, they scaring the folks in the restaurant. So they told everyone to leave and take it outside into the parking lot. And so they were like, yeah, we're going to take it outside. So once they start walking outside, they pretty much stumbling and already grappling as they're going outside and through the door. And so they shoulder through the front door open and swing outwards. And that's when somebody already start recording. Boom. That's when the live start, in which the video y'all seen of the people in the parking, where you see the lines of the parking spaces and everything in the front sidewalk where the window is and all that. And then that's when everything started happening. Because the whole thing of the bad part was in the parking lot. That was the worst of the situation, because that's when the dudes already, they either had it on them or somebody else was with them or something. But this whole thing was some setup. They said it on the news and everything is targeted and this and the third, right? And so what y'all got to understand is that it was a targeted setup, and they had to have known that they were sitting at that table. Like, it was somebody they was looking for. And on top of that, they tried to take all of their chains and run all of their pockets, because they was getting ready to pay the bill, and they saw the dude pulling out his wallet. And that's what really made them start going at it, because they felt some type of way, or they knew that that was their time to make a move, because they were about to leave soon. So they tried to press him inside, and they try to take the chains and all that, because you got to understand, this is Yo Gotti's brother, cousins. And so they actually got all type of EST chains. They got on the CMG and Rock Nation chain. Like, they gave him every chain. If you had $10 million in all the chains, wouldn't you give a few of the chains to your cousins or something like that? That happens all the time. So you got to imagine, at Prive, when people go there, they're already dressed up nice. They got all the chains, the baguettes and the princess cut diamonds and everything like that. And so when they walk in with the Cartier tennis chains, two rollies on, and the APs, and then they pulling out the to pay and all hundreds, and the big blue stack comes out, that's when the dudes already knew, yep, that's the guy right there, because they confirmed it, because he looked like he had the bag, like he even looked like it was Yo Gotti's cousin, because they had some type of bread to be going into Prive. Like the cheapest thing in Prive is probably like an $8 water or something. And so what y'all gotta understand is that everybody comes there fly and has everything on, and so that's why they try to hit a lick too in the parking lot. And maybe they didn't want to give it up. Maybe they was like not willing to lose it. It could have been a special piece or something like that. And so that really made it to where it pushed it over the edge, because at this point they're snagging and pushing, and the link breaks and snaps, and they both jump trying to get it. And that's when the dude reach for his ankle, and that's when everybody start backing up and running. You hear them try to stop it and everything. But at that point, it escalated too much. These dudes either got paid or something, because normally, unless they had a long existing personal beef, it's either that route, or if somebody was putting some bread up to do this, because that's not a surprise. That happens too, because people put up bread for Dolph. People put up bread for a lot of different things, right? And so that's one of the things, like, if we don't know if this is really, but what y'all got to understand is that none of the PRE people was there. And so the people, they don't want to release the names of who they are, because if they do, they're going to know whether they're tied to somebody that's outside of CMG, outside of PRE, whether they're just another group in Memphis that's close to the ear to the streets type of thing, right? But everybody in Dolphland already knows what's going on. And so the thing is that the word is coming out about the two people, and whoever they're cool with or close with, they're going to be basically, they going to be watched too, due to the fact that any of them could be thought of giving bread up to them to do this. So they're going to look at all the possibilities of everything, because now that they got the two dudes and they got the ones separated, so they gonna say something too, because they thought they could get away. But once they try to drive off and everything, they had a flat, because one the people was busting back. They didn't just let them do this unscathed, untouched or nothing like that, with no scrapes or scratches or nothing. They tried to get off, but they had to run away eventually, because people were returning and everything. And so once they skirted off, they had a flat, and it already matched the description. People, you got to imagine, people was already calling the folks to come down, giving them the plate number and everything like that. So the people that was right there about to walk in and hiding behind the pillars and coming out of the stores, because you got to imagine the managers from the other stores, this is a shopping plaza, they all came and started locking their front sliding doors, because they don't want nobody to walk by it and it automatically opens, and then they start running in there, and then it turns into a multi-store property situation, a standoff basically. So once the dudes left, they quickly got because they couldn't get too far. It was already damage on their car and everything. They barely made it a half a mile away. And then eventually they dumped it, and they used the hounds and everything. They brought the hounds. They had them sniff the whole car and everything like that. And that's when they picked up on a scent. They picked up on a scent from one of the socks, because it was like a sour smell. It was a smelly sock that was right there by the gas pedal, and the hounds knew the difference between the different scents. So once they picked up on that scent, within at least, boom, 24 to 48 hours, the hounds led the whole MPD and everything to a certain exact location where the same sock, where the same dude was at, and they basically, he matched exactly what the camera footage is, and that's how they got the two dudes. So what that gotta be is the fact that they got him, and they don't want to release the names and nothing like that, because that's gonna make more of another move happen in Memphis, where people are gonna try to retaliate, people are gonna try to slide and everything like that if they figure out they're tied to this or this person, right? Because it's small. Memphis is small, so once they know who it is, they're going to know, oh, he's with this group or that group. And so they don't want that to happen. So they're going to get him in, have them snitch quick, because you know that's what people do nowadays. It's 2023. If people are getting caught and then they tell, and that's what's basically happening. So don't even do nothing like that to get in a situation where you actually getting caught, and now you have to talk to anything or nothing like that. So it's not even worth going down in that path and doing any of these street things what these guys did and showed up to, because they did a lot of bad for that whole community and everything, because now they got people pleading for justice for Yo Gotti's cousins and his people, and the restaurant on the verge of being either forced to close down or sell the business or something like that, because that's the type of stuff happens when this type of thing happens at public places and restaurants and businesses like that. It's not supposed to go down like that. And so they're going to question the two dudes, have them tell on each other, pin it on one person, then they're going to try to figure out who gave them the bread or put them onto the idea of doing this, whatever their motive was and the reasoning that they was trying to find these people, and whether they was really looking for Yo Gotti himself or if they were looking for his cousins. And that's another thing, is that now Yo Gotti's got to move super careful. He's got to have at least 10 to 20 bodyguards with him if he goes anywhere and everything, because of the fact that look what already happened. And so they trying to get people close to him or him. So that's the thing, is if he was just a random person and it wasn't Yo Gotti's cousin or nothing like that, then maybe nothing would have ever happened. Like, you know what I mean? And so the fact that this happened to his people means that they was looking for Yo Gotti too. He's not out the question. Most of the time, if they can't get to one person, they're going to get to the person that's basically close to them or related or something like that. And that's always how it goes down, because y'all already know. So with all that being said, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down below. I'm going to catch you on the next one.